So anime and manga are on the verge of being banned as we speak. We are approaching the crescendo, the point of no return, where if we do not do something, anime and manga like My Dress Up Darling and Dan 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 could strictly become illegal in the future thanks to Texas SB 20 already being passed by not only the Senate but also the House. This person says, thank God I don't live in the state. The issue is this will directly affect it everywhere, not only in the US, but it's already making moves in Japan. There is an ideological movement happening against anime and manga where they directly think that it is influencing people in the wrong way due to their religious perspectives, and these old ass motherfuckers don't understand the literal expression of art and the freedom of speech, and they directly want to go against it. With here it's saying SB 20 is virtue signaling at its worst. Under the guise of protecting children, they are watering down the definition, which will almost certainly lead to more actual harm. The issue is there are already laws in place that protect the things that they are trying to quote unquote virtue signal that they are protecting, which is why everyone knows what the real reason is that they are doing all of this. Don't allow them to lie to you folks and say that they are doing it for this virtue signaling reason whenever that is already against the law. They are directly doing this to go after anime and manga for their religious and ideological reasons and perspectives. This is what happens when adults lose the ability to differentiate between fiction and reality. Abso-freaking-lutely. With here, the Texas SB 20 not only lacks that boundary, but expressly disregards it. The bill would enact essentially the same statute struck down in the Free Speech Coalition Redux, so they are finding a way around what was already struck down by amending it. And here it says material containing a depiction that appears to be of someone younger than the age of 18, which is ridiculous because it's already against the law in a realistic sense. They are literally just attacking cartoon and animations with this because they simply don't understand, and it was supported by both Republicans and Democrats 100% with zero nays, which I think is crazy. And in Japan, there are already people in parliament that are fighting back against this, that are directly concerned with this parliament member saying a state bill called SB 20 was debated in Texas. There were concerns about its impact on anime and manga, but it has already been passed. The following site has also updated it to passed. There isn't much information yet, but we'll keep an eye on the future. And there is a huge movement happening in Japan against anime and manga, literally called the Cybercrime Convention, and it was promoted by China and Russia, with this person directly speaking out against it. This is a literal member running for parliament, running for office, saying that he is a spokesperson for the otaku. His name is Taro Yamada. New Cybercrime Convention. Those in favor of regulations who want to crush freedom of expression are actively lobbying members of parliament in order to achieve regulation of expression, because due to ideological reasons, they don't like the way that it is influencing people that they believe in the wrong direction, which is a direct cross between church and state and a direct step on the First Amendment. Without using the reservations in the new cybercrime treaty, this would not only affect audio and novels, but also manga, which is ridiculous. And his name is Yamada Taro. If you guys want to go give him support, please go feel free to do so. Literally, Chevron here names an article, Texas SB 20 manga and anime, describing exactly what is happening in the scene and exactly what is under threat and under fire here. It says fans in anime and manga are now in Texas are facing a new challenge, not one found on screen or on the black and white pages of their favorite works, but within the halls of the state legislature itself. A controversial new bill gaining steam at the Texas Capitol has sparked fears that the Japanese-style animation and graphic novels could inadvertently become subject to legal scrutiny. Do not be fooled, folks. This is not literally just against AI. They are using it as a scapegoat and a Trojan horse again to directly attack anime and manga for religious reasons. There is already protections in place to protect exactly what they are acting like they are going against, and it is a way too broad a scope of something of a law to literally just go for that. Here it says the bill targets those who knowingly possess, view, or share such material with penalties of up to with 2 years in prison and fines up to $10,000. So if they choose so, because it leaves it up to the lawmaker, you could literally go to jail for 2 years just for watching or possessing Dress Up Darling or Don Don Don, which is ridiculous. Repeat offenders could face harsher charges. Technology, whether through AI or other programs, has enabled predators to produce material that is obviously so offensive, and I believe it has no redeeming value whatsoever. Flores said from the Senate floor, in fact, those materials are often used to, abuse, which is ridiculous. That's what the senator was saying. But then if that's what he's saying, why are they proposing this bill? Daniel Slay, founder and chairman of Houston's Anime Monterey Convention, told Schron the bill has generated anxiety among anime and manga fans, artists, and creators who argue its scope is far too broad. I share similar sentiments of Texas fans, specifically that the bill is vague and open to interpretation of what is considered offensive and obscene in art and animation. Lay said anime artists, for example, have expressed whether or not they could display, sell, or commission their works or fan of art at events. Here is the issue. If it is going for what they say that it is going for, then why the hell did they even state art, manga, and animation? Why did they state it in the slightest? It is because it's an ideological movement and for ideological reasons, and it is not fair to the avid anime watcher, goer, and enjoyer. Lay feels the bill could be more specific, but is hopeful that its intent is clear and that it's a positive step. She clarified the bill is not meant to target artists expressing their art through anime, but Kirsten Catherine, associate professor in the Department of Asian Studies at the University of Texas at Austin, told Schron that concerns are justified. It's very clear that the target is quite wide and broad and big enough that anime and manga are definitely going to come under target increasingly. Here they're saying anime and manga are definitely going to come under target increasingly, and that is a definite. It's about the realm of imagination. There's an assumption of causality between consuming these images, viewing them, and then going out and committing some kind of harm. Exactly what I was stating, where they believe that it is anime and manga are influencing people in the wrong direction due to their ideological and religious stances, and it is one of the sickest things. There's supposed to be a separation between church and state for a reason, and it is directly to protect freedom of religion and freedom of press and of speech. There's a real slippery slope here that's being breached. Abso-freaking-lutely. The crux of the issue is whether certain rights might fall into the depictions of obscene and what would constitute a depiction of a minor. Catherine stated, I don't think it would be hard to find many manga where there are drawn characters who appear or could be accused of seemingly like they were underage. She added, anime and manga are often featured teenage characters who are sometimes in suggestive situations, which is exactly what I was stating. All of the high school romance, anime, and manga could literally be under attack under these lawmakers. Do you really trust these lawmakers to say that that is okay after they watch it? That's 50, 60, 70-year-old lawmaker who literally doesn't understand even video games from 20 years ago. Do you really think that they're going to watch Dress Up Darling or Don 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 and understand that it's a joke or that it's a romantic scene? Like, absolutely freaking not. For example, the story of Don Don Don, a popular manga recently turned Netflix anime series, features an elderly female ghost who steals the main teen protagonist genitalia. It's a fucking joke, people. That was a joke. It didn't show it. It was a joke. In another scene, a high school girl stripped down to her underwear and is nearly, probed by aliens. She was probed by aliens. That was the joke there as well. The voice actor was a complete adult, and it was literally a drawing, people. These old people don't understand a damn thing about what anime, manga, and enjoyers literally want from anime. The anime series and manga are rated M for mature viewers and readers. In fact, most manga and anime have a rating system, though they vary to guide readers on appropriateness of content for different age groups. Lay said even anime conventions have similar rules fans are accustomed to, with any adult content restricted to 18 and over areas. Absolutely. As long as it is constricted to 18 and over, and for the viewer, and the voice actor is 18 or over, then other than that, is literally a depiction of a fictional scene. Like, Like, are you kidding me, dude? Don. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with My Dress Up Darling. Those are what they're actually going after, people. They're not going after things that are already against the law. They're going after things that they believe for their ideological reasons, that those things should be against the law because they think that it is influencing people in the wrong direction, which is sickening. Still, the proposed law would be beyond these regulations, even targeting stories with characters that are of age but don't look it. Absolutely ridiculous. A lot of the images look very young in a lot of manga. Jeff Trexler, lawyer and interim director of advocacy group Comic Book Legal Defense Fund, told Tron there's concern that they could have a story about an adult and it's actually not a story involving a child, but because of the way the manga looks, they would be subject to persecution. Absolutely. A lot of people have too high of hopes, giving it too benefit of the doubt here. They thought that it would get shot down in Texas, then they thought that it would get shot down in the House and the Senate, and then it wasn't. This is the issue, people. The people need to stand up now because these people are not going to shoot it down because it is for their religious reasons. They are not caring about the freedom of speech at all. They are operating from an ideological perspective, and it is an insane take and an insane issue. In some circles, there's also an incorrect notion that manga and anime being inherently in nature. Trexler said adding cases have often been brought to him concerning accessibility to works in schools, whether it's fiction or just regular manga anime. There are people out there who think that the term graphic novel means graphic in terms of content, but the graphic is referring to the picture element of it. Abso-freaking-lutely. Trexler warns the bill could face constitutional challenges, citing the 2002 court case, which struck down a similar law on First Amendment grounds, stating fictional depictions aren't protected under laws. However, the 2008 case clarified that promoting material that appears to involve can be criminalized if it could mislead others into believing it involves real children. SB 20 combines elements, both cases, to create a statute that arguably goes beyond the scope of constitutional prohibition. Under SB 20, it would be a felony merely to possess obscene cartoon or animated material that depicts to appear someone who is underage. This would violate precedent regarding the scope of constitutional possession statute. The supporters of the bill are leaning heavily into artificial intelligence, which, based my assumption, they're talking about the use of actual images that are artificially enhanced to allow that. There's an actual potentially at the base as the model. Carter said, adding that's not what occurs with anime and manga. The other ones, of course, anything that is hand-drawn out of animation is also in one fell swoop sort of being conjoined there, which is my issue with it. Why are they adding anime and manga whenever that is a drawn thing? Anime is an expression of art. It is a freedom of speech. It is your First Amendment right. There's a very bold move in the U.S. I don't believe that has held. The legislation could have a significant chilling effect that could extend to video games, comic books, and graphic novels, even if a book does not constitute obscenity. Trexler said the threat of arrest or reputational harm can make possessing or selling certain books seem not worth the risk. I think for a number of people who are advocating for this, I don't think that they think a lot about whether the statute can actually be enforced. He said the idea here is to get people so scared of something happening that they will take the material off the shelf. They won't see it online. They won't put it on the webcomic or whatever, which does the job as much as somebody getting arrested does, which is absolutely suppression of speech. Even if that is their intention, just to scare you from talking or from expressing your freedom of expression or your freedom of speech, that is against the Constitution in and of itself. They are not supposed to influence it or scare you at all. Due to the nature of the bill, they believe it will ultimately pass, which is freaking ridiculous. After all, who could oppose protecting from such a thing? Which is ridiculous because it's already protected. These politicians are at risk of looking like they're endorsing it. And let's face it, today in America, being an advocate for free expression is not the winning political route for many of these people, unfortunately. As fans anticipate the bill's outcome, laws already in existence and understanding of constitutional rights are key. He vowed to represent any artists, creators who are wrongly accused to help destigmatize artist expression through cartoon media and animation. This is coming from the group Comic Book Legal Defense Fund, which is a literal dude that is advocating against this. You guys be sure to go over there and give him some support. But paper or plastic, boys, what do y'all think about that? Let me know down below. Paper being good, plastic being bad. I'm going with plastic. These motherfuckers are plastic as fuck. Plastic through and through. These leaders over in Texas, these people writing these dang laws, they are plastic. They're basically mannequins. They're plastic aliens come down from outer space, from Saturn, to control anime and manga, to get you to believe that you can probe Don too, okay? It's an issue. It's illegal. I'm completely against it. Alex Jones does not support. All right, boys, but that's it for me. You guys have a good day. GG's. Peace.